The award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. We thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I've made it back to the office. I'm excited. We've got limited access to the office now, and I'm able to get in the studio and shoot this show for you today. So we're all still social distancing. I got Taylor Martin from the Tennessee Wildlife Federation and Mr. Mike Parsley, my boss here at the agency. He's our Assistant Chief of Communications and Outreach, and I appreciate these guys being with us. But they're on location at their homes and their offices at home, and I'm here in studio and glad to be here. It should be a good show for you today. Before we get started, I wanted to just kind of highlight what all's going on. We've been putting a lot of content out there on YouTube and Facebook, videos about how to go fish and tackle tips and ways to fish and things like that. And we're excited to bring you those. And then Matt Cameron out in East Tennessee came up with an idea called Drop the Tailgate, and those have been rolling out on Facebook and YouTube. So go check those out. It's just conversations on the tailgate after the hunt or after the fishing trip and that kind of thing. So it's pretty neat to check those out, and a lot of cool stuff is learned by watching those. And we appreciate Mike leading the charge on some of those tackle tips. He's got some insight on some fishing. He loves to fish, and we appreciate him doing that for us. And then we're gonna talk about the Hunting and Fishing Academy today. Before we do that, I wanted to talk about a hat, not the one I'm wearing today, not the WildCast hat, but we do have another hat coming soon. It's a navy blue color with the agency logo. We've been selling some hats here lately. We had the winter version, and then we had the tan version that has the mesh back, and now we got a blue one coming, a dark navy blue with a mesh back, and it's a pretty cool hat. I've seen it, and it'll be online before you know it, so go check that out, get you one of those. But anyway, just wanted to throw that out there, and let's welcome Taylor Martin. Taylor, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And Mike, thank you for jumping in here and helping me co-host today. I appreciate that.
No problem.
We're going to talk about the Federation. Not a lot of people know about the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, and we want to highlight what they do, and then want to jump into the Hunting and Fishing Academy, a new program that they're leading for us, and should be a fun conversation. So let's just jump in real quick. What is the Federation? What does the Federation, Tennessee Wildlife Federation, do, and who are they, Taylor?
So, like you said, not a lot of people know who we are at Tennessee Wildlife Federation, which is kind of surprising. We've been around the state for a pretty long time. We started back out in 1946, and we've had a few different names since then, but we're Tennessee Wildlife Federation now. And our main drive right now is the dedicated conservation, the sound management, and wise use of Tennessee's great outdoors. So we're really a group that represents hunters and anglers all throughout the state of Tennessee. We try to represent their best interest and the interest of the great outdoors. So a lot of our work deals with conservation policy. And then in recent years, in the past 15, 20 years, we've developed a youth outreach arm, which that's where Hunting and Fishing Academy fits in. And it's where our Tennessee Scholastic Clay Target program also fits in. So trying to get more people involved in the outdoors and make sure there's continuing funding for conservation throughout the state of Tennessee. Because we all know with North America being on the conservation model that it is, most of the conservation dollars comes from hunters and anglers buying their hunting and fishing licenses, and then the excise tax they pay on their equipment. So we know if there's less people getting involved in the outdoors, there's less money to go towards conservation. And that not only hurts hunters and anglers, but it also hurts bird watchers, hikers, kayakers, people that just like getting out in the wild places of Tennessee. So the Tennessee Wildlife Federation focuses most of its time on making sure that funding model is sustainable and advising on policies that affect conservation of game and non-game species in the state of Tennessee.
I guess, and your speak policies, y'all are a watchdog, the wildlife watchdog on Capitol Hill. Is that right? That's what you're known for?
That's right. And we've advised on a few big legislations. One of our biggest that people in Tennessee may remember, especially hunters and anglers, was the constitutional amendment for the right to hunt and fish. That was a big push that we made years ago and got that added, so it's a state right for people to hunt and fish in the state of Tennessee.
Here, Tennessee Wildlife Federation is an independent nonprofit that is affiliated with the National Wildlife Federation. So y'all got our backs, right?
We do. We always try to represent all the hunters and anglers, and even just the outdoor enthusiasts of Tennessee.
Well, today the main focus and what we really wanted to cover and highlight the most was this hunting and fishing academy. It's something new that we've brought to life. It's a awesome program, I think, that's going to help encourage people who have never hunted and fished before, encourage folks to get out there and pass on the tradition of hunting and fishing, those mentors, and we'll talk more about all these different elements. So quick overview of what the Hunting and Fishing Academy is. Taylor?
So the Hunting and Fishing Academy is a program that's designed to give hands-on experience to those people who have never hunted or fished before. And it's really geared towards, people with little to no experience. We bring them out on usually multi-day experiences, and we try to teach them everything that they're going to need to know so they can go out and hunt and fish again in the future. Because like I said earlier, the conservation model, it really runs off of hunting and fishing licenses. We just don't want to take that person hunting or fishing for a weekend and then they think, oh, that was fun. I don't think I'll never go back and do that again, but I had fun this one time. We want them to go out and continue to hunt and fish for the rest of their lives. So we really focus on the educational pieces during our events to make sure that our participants learn what it takes to be able to go out and hunt a deer or hunt a turkey on their own in the future, and utilizing public resources and knowing what equipment they need and things like that. And we have our events all throughout the year. We have small game, large game, waterfowl events. So we usually have events just about every time of the year. And this entire program runs off of volunteers. We have a volunteer program called Hunt Masters. Hunt Masters are volunteers that are trained through the program and usually lead these experiences. The Hunting and Fishing Academy only has a staff of 3 people. So if we're ever going to really make a big difference in Tennessee, we need volunteers to help us run these experiences. We actually just finished up a Hunt Master training this past Saturday where we trained some new volunteers, and they're going to start helping us out this fall. But volunteers are who we rely on. These volunteers are men and women who have spent most of their lives in the field, and they've reached the point in their hunting career where they feel like they want to give back. They want to share the knowledge that they've gained over their years of experience. And this program allows them to do that.
It's kind of like, you speak of volunteers, it's kind of like our hunter education program. We couldn't do it without those guys volunteering. Our officers are busy out there, and we don't have the manpower inside the agency to pull off hunter education classes all across the state. So those volunteers are important, and I can see where they would be important for this, for sure. Exactly.
And a lot of our hunt masters are hunter ed instructors because of the same reason. They have knowledge that they want to pass on, and they see our program and the hunter ed program as avenues to do that.
Yeah.
What are the requirements, Taylor, for someone to want to be a hunt master?
Hunt master, really the only requirement that we have is that you're willing to help. We have some hunt masters that actually don't know that much about hunting and fishing, but they want to come and help at our events because like I said, these events are usually multi-day, and some of these events require primitive camping. We also teach general outdoors skills, and some of these volunteers, they'll come and they'll be the camp cook for the weekend, or they'll come to help around camp, things like that. But anybody that enjoys the outdoors and enjoys sharing their knowledge about the outdoors with others, that's really the one requirement we have for you to become a hunt master.
Just got to have a passion for it, right?
Right. And that's what gets other people's passion about the outdoors when they see somebody else that already has a passion.
Right. The actual participants, you have been catering these events toward young adolescents, children, but you guys are entering into a new phase. What are you guys thinking about doing now?
Yeah, so in the past we've really just dealt with youth, really less than 18 years old. But hope this fall we're actually going to be launching an adult program. So that's going to be for people in their 20 years of age or plus. And that's a program that we're really excited about. We're working with some other partners to really build that out. But it's going to be a similar program, but it's going to be geared towards adults. So it's going to be focused around making sure that we fit into an adult's busy schedule, because we know most adults can't dedicate an entire weekend to one thing. They got other things they need to do. So we're going to be very accommodating for that. And we're going to be having different workshops for them to attend to learn all the necessary skills of how to go out and hunt or fish. And then we're going to cap it off with an actual hunting experience where we're going to pair them with some of our hunt masters in the area, and they're going to go out and hunt for deer, turkey, however we decide to run it. And once everybody gets a chance to hunt, we'll all gather back up to kind of recap the hunts, see what everybody's thoughts were, and hopefully those people go out to continue their hunting and fishing career.
Yeah, and that just makes sense, right? Because the young adults, 20 to 35, 40 years age, they have young children anyway. So if you get the adults, you're also getting their children anyway, right?
Yeah, you really get 2 for 1 almost if you train an adult how to hunt, because they're if they enjoy it, then they're going to start taking their kid. And even with our youth program, at all our youth events, the kids are required to bring an adult chaperone with them, and the adult or parent does everything with the kid. We not only teach the youth how to do it, but we teach the parent for that exact same reason. So when they leave there, not only does the kid know what to do, but the parent does as well. And hopefully that is something they can go out and do together in the future, because like most of us who hunt and fish already, that's how we got started in it, is that a family member took us hunting and fishing. And we think that's going to how we build the next generation of hunters as well.
Yeah. Are these events 3-day weekends, or are they week-long events? So what are your thoughts and what's going to happen in the future with these different programs?
They vary in length depending on what the hunt is. Usually our big game hunts are 3-day. They start on Saturday evening and run through Sunday afternoon. And that's really to make sure everybody has the best opportunity they have to harvest an animal. Because we all know, if you go big game hunting, deer hunting, or turkey hunting for one morning, your chances aren't that good. But our small game, like our squirrel or duck hunting, things like that, are some days 1 day or half day.
Mike. But yeah, you got to go more than once, or have a long weekend to have the opportunity. You don't always have success that first trip.
Yeah, and as most hunters and anglers will tell you too, there's a lot of little things that go into just hunting one animal. A lot of little knowledge that you get. So it's a lot to even cram all that stuff into a 3-day weekend. Mm-hmm. So having that amount of time with these participants to try to get them as much knowledge as we can in this short amount of time, we really think we need that long weekend.
Yeah. And you spoke earlier about, all the volunteers and you yourself have a passion for this and passing this on. How did you get introduced into the outdoors, and what brought this passion in for you?
Like I said, I'm a pretty common story. My dad got me into hunting when I was pretty young. I don't know how young I was when he first took me out on a boat to go waterfowl hunting, but from the story my parents tell, it was pretty young, about the time I could walk and fit my feet into boots. But my dad's always been a lifelong waterfowl hunter and outdoorsman. He's actually an employee of the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. He's the manager over at Reelfoot. I think he just got his 30 years in with the state. So growing up with him, that's what instilled a love of the outdoors and a love of hunting for me. And like I said, I think that's a pretty common story. We know with most of our hunt masters and most of our volunteers that when you ask them how they got introduced to the hunting or outdoor lifestyle, it's usually by a parent or like a close family.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, how did you get introduced? How did you get into the outdoors and love of hunting and fishing? I know you fish a lot. You love that part of it for sure.
My dad and I, we always went. It's same story with a lot of people, but that's the problem. There's some people out there that, and it's getting more likely that parents don't take their children. So what we have to do is create new parents who do go hunting and fishing, and then they can start taking their children. So that's our job, and that's Taylor's job. It's my job, and of course that's your job too. So
yes, sir.
That's what we are tasked with, and that's what we're trying to do through the things like Hunting and Fishing Academy and our fishing tips that we put online so people can learn how to fish. And the way I see what we do, and you and I and Taylor, we're teachers. I mean, we're not teaching math and science and things like that, but we are teaching outdoor skills. And if people do not have the skills to take part in the outdoors, they're probably not going to do it for very long. People don't do what they're not any good at. So we have to teach them well. And if we can teach someone to hunt and fish, then we've done our job.
Yeah. Passing on that legacy. Somebody's got to do it. So that's what we're here for. What does an event look like cost-wise for this hunting and fishing? Does it cost the person to come out and participate?
It does. There are registration fees, and it depends on the length of the event. Everything's built off that half-day model, so like a squirrel hunt. So half-days cost $25 per participant, and that covers the meals for the day and equipment that they may need, things like that. And then that just kind of compounds on how many days the event is.
Okay. And you need hunter education and that kind of thing. You need some of that stuff, those factors play in. So make sure you do that or get the apprentice license to cover you there. But you still got to play by the rules. But, it's these events will be fun. You'll learn a lot. It's a great time to get outdoors and talk about the hunt and enjoy the outdoors and be out there and see the birds chirp and also maybe have an opportunity to take a bird, turkey or something like that.
One of the cool things about our events is, I tell everybody, is that everything's a learning opportunity. So when that person first shows interest in one of our events and we give them a call and it's like, hey, we'd like to select you to come out on this event. What do you think? And we're like, well, I don't know what all I need is. That kind of starts the teaching moment for us, even before they get out to the field. It's like, well, you're this age, you need to go make sure you find hunter's ed. We can direct you to the place you can go find the nearest hunter ed to you. We can help you get signed up for a class and make sure you have the correct licenses before you come out. So all these are teaching opportunities, things that normal, like lifelong sportsmen, we take for granted most of the time. Mm-hmm. These are all things that people need to know. And I think that's something that gets overlooked a lot when people's like, oh, I'm going to take someone hunting for the day. They just tell them like, hey, make sure you get this, this, and this, and they never explain why. And that's something our program really tries to get into from the very start. As soon as somebody shows interest in our event, we kind of start the teaching from that point on.
Well, what events did you have last year? And explain how people will sign up for those events or did sign up for those events last year, and then get into some events that you plan on holding this fall and maybe next winter.
So last year we had quite a few deer hunts. I think we had about 8 deer hunts across the state throughout deer season. We had a couple duck hunts. We have a really big duck hunt every year in West Tennessee, the Davis P. Rice Memorial Youth Duck Hunt. And that's usually about 100 to 115 kids that come to that one. We spread them all across blinds in West Tennessee. We were supposed to have some turkey hunts, but due to certain circumstances, we weren't able to have those. But coming up for this year, we're really looking forward to it. We got a full staff that's fully trained now going into the fall. So we're going to have even more deer hunts, more small game opportunities. So we're going to have more dove hunts, more squirrel hunts, hopefully some more waterfowl hunts, because we find that for new hunters and anglers, those small game events are sometimes more appealing than the big game hunts. It's a little less pressure and a little bit more fun to go on as your first time. But for all these events, you can find them at our website at tnwf.org and go to the Hunting and Fishing Academy page from that website, or you can go directly to the page to show interest in our events at tnwf.org/interest, and they'll have all the events that we currently have on the schedule, and you can select one of them or all of them of how you want to get involved with the program.
And you're also going to be able to sign up for the events through our website, correct? Isn't that right?
Yeah, once y'all get that new functionality with the Go Outdoors Tennessee app and website, all of our events will be posted on there as Hunting and Fishing Academy events. So you can find us there, and you can also find us on Facebook or Instagram.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, GoOutdoorsTennessee.com is where you get your licenses, and that's our portal. And like I said, we're going to have an event system coming on board that's going to be not only great for the Hunting and Fishing Academy events, but our events as the agency, things that we're putting on as an agency. So be watching that website, and we'll put out notifications and things like that to let you know that it's live when that happens. But that's how we're going to sign up for events and things like that, so we can make sure we get everybody signed up and have a great experience and get outdoors. So it's a pretty cool platform that we'll be adding pretty soon. So as well as a storefront, so a lot of cool gear too. Something that was mentioned or maybe hasn't been mentioned is fishing. It's the Hunting and Fishing Academy, but what kind of fishing events are we going to be doing? We talk a lot about turkey hunting and deer hunting and waterfowl, but what kind of fishing events can we work in, or will we be working in to this academy?
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about our fishing events, actually. And the years past, the Hunting and Fishing Academy has been around for a few years, kind of in a pilot phase. But this past year was the first year we've really opened up the program and we've opened up to the public. But this year, fishing events, I think, are going to take a new role in the academy. We actually have a fishing event coming up on June 27th in Clinton, Tennessee. That's going to be a trout fishing event. And it's going to be trout fishing mixed around with fly fishing. And we're looking to have more events like that. And we're even looking at having some overnight fly fishing and trout fishing events over in East Tennessee. And we're really getting back into the one-on-one engagement that we talked about earlier, the hands-on instruction. Instead of having 30 or 40 kids come to a pond and, fish for bluegill, stuff like that, we really want to dial in on particular species of fish going forward and really bring out the fishing culture and heritage that Tennessee has. Not a lot of people, not even Tennessee residents, don't know that East Tennessee has some of the best trout fishing waters in the entire country. And so we want to highlight that, and we want to highlight the fishing in West Tennessee as well, Middle Tennessee, things like that. So we're really looking forward to our fishing events. But we got the one coming up on June 27th in Clinton, Tennessee. That one's coming pretty soon. We're really looking forward to that one. And then we're also scheduling a few trout fishing events for the fall and probably early spring as well.
Awesome. And all those can be found at tnwf.org right now, and I'm sure so you can get on there and check those out and get more information. Yeah, that's cool. There is a lot of opportunities in Tennessee. It's amazing the topography across the state from west to east. It's amazing what we have here, and it can be flat, it can be hilly, it can be all in between, and it's a great state to live in, a great state to hunt and fish in. We got a lot of folks at the agency that are dedicated to making it even better, and they're working hard every day. And people may not see that, and it may not be right out in front of their face, but believe it or not, they have a passion for it, and that's why they're here. And if they don't, they're not. They wouldn't be here. But it's a great agency to work for, and we're working for you, the hunter and fisherman. So anyway, I just wanted to say that we mentioned the hunts. Are these going to be public land hunts, or do we have landowners that are helping us out, giving us a place to hunt? Is this all on public land?
A lot of our hunts right now take place on private land. We partner with private landowners to allow us to come onto their property for a weekend a day to hunt and fish. But we are actually expanding into public land hunts. In February, we had a public land squirrel hunt on the Tellico Lake WMA over in East Tennessee. And with our adult program that we mentioned, I think we're going to try to focus that program on using public lands, because that's part of the teaching of it. As public lands are a public resource, they belong to all Tennesseans. So we want to teach people how to effectively use those for hunting and fishing. So I think public lands are going to play a bigger part in the program moving forward. Yeah,
there's a lot of opportunities out there. I mean, it's amazing the amount of land that we have to hunt and fish on, and it's open to the public. And I think there's a lot of good opportunities, and I think folks need to know about that. So that's great. I think that's good. We can do it on both private and public. I mean, people are not always open. Sometimes private landowners not always open to having people on their land, but some of them are. Just go ask, and you might be able to get in. And I'm glad we have some of those good relationships with folks that'll let us use their places for these hunts.
Yeah, and our landowners are just like our hunt masters. They grew up hunting and fishing, and they've been fortunate to get a chunk of land throughout their life, and they want to share it with others, and they want to share it towards a cause that teaches the next generation of hunters. So we've talked about passion a couple of times today, and it's all about that. That's what our landowners see when they donate their property. It's to teach the next generation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The TWRA and the Federation, they work hand in hand with one another on not just a hunting and fishing academy. What all programs do we work together to create new hunters and fishermen, or to help people out, just helping?
Mm-hmm. So TWRA has obviously played a huge part in the hunting and fishing academy. The grant that we received for y'all is the reason we were able to expand and really make the program what it is. TWRA also helps out with our Hunters for the Hungry program, which allows hunters to donate their deer to local hunger relief. And that program would never have gotten as big as it could have if TWRA wasn't pushing it. I know our Hunters for the Hungry sticker is on the back of every TWRA truck in the state. And our Tennessee SCTP program, our Scholastic Play Target program, has been a beneficiary of TWRA grants for years. That's probably the oldest program that we've had in the state for youth outreach. And it's every year it caters to any 1,500 to 2,000 youth across the entire state to introduce them to shooting sports. And of course, not only with our programs, but I know we work with y'all on litigation and legislation, and also advising on wildlife conservation efforts. I know we've worked with y'all very closely on the Asian carp problem and many other issues.
Okay, so when someone sees Hunters for the Hungry or the SCTP or the Hunting and Fishing Academy, they need to think of the Federation and the TWRA, because we're both trying to get people out there hunting and fishing or just helping people out.
We're two separate organizations, but we work very closely together because in the end, I think we're all aiming towards the same goal, and that's to provide for our current hunters and anglers and to create new ones in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, we're going to run out of time, and I want to try to wrap things up right here. I just want to reiterate how people can find out more about this program, the Hunting and Fishing Academy. Tell us where we can find that information, Taylor.
You can find us on our website. If you go to tnwf.org, you can find the Hunting and Fishing Academy page there, and it has all of our events. You can sign up for Hunt Master trainings and read a little bit more about the program there. And you can also find us on Facebook by searching Tennessee Wildlife Federation. We post all of our events there. So if you see it and like it, be sure to share it with your friends and get the word out. But the best place to find out what's going on with the program is our website at tnwf.org.
All right. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in and being with us today. I thank everybody for watching and listening. Taylor, thanks for the hard work, and Mike as well. Thank you for all your hard work, and we'll just keep pressing on and passing it on. But we appreciate you guys, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in to this edition of Tennessee WildCast, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.